லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆன் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஓகே, லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆன் பண்ணிட்டேன். இந்த லிங்கையும் காப்பி பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இந்த லிங்க் இதுலேருந்து யூடியூபுக்கு கனெக்ட் பண்ணுறேன். நீங்கள் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் கொடுக்க சொல்கிறீங்களா? ம். அது பண்ணி வேர்டை ஓப்பன் பண்ணுங்க. அவ்வளோ ஒர்க் பண்ணி ஹலோ ஹலோ சார், ஆன் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. ஹலோ சார். sir. Could you
Hello.
hear me, sir?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, can you adjust the camera, sir?
Camera. Went up,
Little bit down, sir.
down.
Yes, sir.
Went up.
Even more down, sir.
I think we. Okay.
Uh,
That's
sir.
okay.
No, sir. Even more down. Yes, sir. It's okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's okay. Now,
Yes.
so my feeling is actually now
Sir,
that
1 minute, sir.
yeah we have
Let me introduce Geeta, ma'am.
no we have lost the time actually. I don't. I will do my self introduction. No problem. So what do you feel? Hello.
Sir, 2 minutes, sir. We will introduce you,
Are
sir.
you there? No problem, madam. Because we already lost. It's already 10:30 now.
Yes, sir. Okay,
So
sir. Thank
I
you,
will
sir.
wind up by 11 o'clock or 11:15.
11:15, sir.
11:15. Okay, because other speakers should not wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Name.
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. A very good morning to one and all present here. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone for the Student Induction Program Deeksharambh 2023 to 2024 Day 9. On behalf of the first year ENT, I would like to extend my warm greetings to Founder Chairman Dr. A.C. Shanmugam Sir, our Honorable President, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar Sir, Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lashmi Ma'am, Provost, Rector, Registrar, Additional Registrars, Joint Registrars, Deans, Deputy Deans, HODs, Teaching and Non-Teaching Staff. Now I would like to welcome Joint Registrar First Year ENT Dr. N.S. Subhashri Ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome today's speaker Dr. K.M. Mehta Sir. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome my dear students. Today, our speaker Dr. K.M. Mehta is going to present about general principles of OBE. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. K.M. Mehta, sir. Dr. K.M. Mehta completed PhD from IIT Madras. He served as professor and director, School of Computer Science and Engineering, and director, Center for Professional Development Education during his 35 years of service at Anna University. In Anna University, he started a new academic program, MTech Software Engineering and MTech Multimedia Technology, and created a path for other colleges to adopt this program. He was instrumental in setting up Cisco Regional Academy, Microsoft Center of Excellence, and HP Center, M Learning, with funding 80 lakhs from HV USA and Regional Center for Indian Languages Tamil, sponsored by MHRD New Delhi. He has got research and development grant to the tune of 5 crores from UGC, AICTE, MHRD, and other government agencies. He also established knowledge of data center at Anna University. Dr. K. Mehta sir has been listed as a notable computer scientist by Marcus USA in World Who is Who. His passion is research and he guided 80 BTech projects, 60 MTech, and 25 PhDs. He has published papers in 100 well-reputed journals. And he has published 2 books in Tata McGraw-Hill and 3 conference proceedings on neural networks. He is a member of ACM, IEEE, IAPQR, CSI, ISTA. He is actively associated with AICTE and NBA as an expert in CSE and IT. As an expert in computer science and engineering, he accredited 150 Tier 1 and Tier 2 institutes for NBA accreditation. He is a Margadarshak for NBA accreditation, a role assigned by AICTE. After holding several positions as dean in other deemed universities and director sponsored research at VIT-AP, he is currently an advisor computing sciences in our university. I welcome you, sir, for today's session. Over to you, sir.
So, dear students, good morning to all. Today being a Teacher's Day, I would like to quote one important quotation from Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who was the President of India and a devoted and distinguished teacher. Quote, "When we think we know, we cease to learn." Once again, I will repeat, when we think we know, we cease to learn. And this is going to be the backdrop of my talk today. Before I start my lecture, let me thank Dr. Shubhashri, Madam, JR, first year, Engineering and Technology, for giving me this opportunity. I will also thank all the teachers who are assisting Dr. Shubhashri in making this Deeksharambh a grand success. Let me congratulate all the students for getting admission to this prestigious university, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute. It is a wonderful opportunity to study and be graduated from this university. All of you should make use of the facilities available and interact with the staff from different branches of engineering and scheme and programs. All my colleagues might have clearly explained to all of you the facilities and infrastructure available at our university and the student clubs. We are focusing on the overall professional development of the students so that the students go in flying colors and excel themselves in whatever profession they take. Today, I'm going to bring to you your notice the global principle of higher education, that is outcome-based education. I have been interacting with several students across the country as a National Board of Accreditation expert. Almost all the students are not aware of the OBE. That is, OBE is nothing but outcome-based education. See, this is what exactly happened to all the students. I don't want that to happen to our students. All our students, MGR University students, should be aware of the fundamental principles of outcome-based education, and so that they can face any situation very boldly. And this is going to be the major focus for all the academic programs in USA, UK, Europe, and other Asian countries. Take into consideration this aspect. The curriculum structure is very important for the outcome-based education. See, most of the students asked me, see, what is the OBE, sir? Why do we need OBE? Where do you make use of this OBE? And what is the use of OBE in the placement prospectus? See, you have been talking about OBE and we are not aware of these fundamental concepts. Now, I would like to answer all these questions one by one during my course of a talk. Of course, I lost half an hour because of some technical problem. I will try to compress my lecture to 45 minutes. No, anyway, it is not my intention to deliver a detailed lecture on outcome-based education, which is not properly understood by students, staff, not only here, but across the country. So just I wanted to bring some awareness on the terminology of OBE. So I think all the students should hear this lecture properly and should be aware of the fundamental concepts of OBE. First of all, the student should know the difference between the learning objectives and the learning outcomes. The focus of OBE is to make the students learn. See how the students are going to learn. So that's why I will go back to the traditional, the traditional system as well as the OBE system. See, all of you are aware of the traditional system because you have gone through this school education. Now you have entered into a professional education, and you know about the traditional system. See, traditional system, the learners are passive and the teachers are responsible for learning. I mean, I will take only these two important aspects. And whereas in OBE system, learners are active and learners take the responsibility for their own. See, this is what is the importance of outcome-based education. And the students are the important stakeholders of any academic programs. You are one of the important stakeholders. So, okay, I think we have to be aware of this. Teachers follow some rigid syllabus and they cover the syllabus, they conduct the examination and examine you, and you get some marks. Based on the marks awarded by the university, I think you are declared as a first grade student or a second class student or whatever. That is the end of that. That is the traditional system. See, we don't focus on how much of the concepts you are learning and what are the skill sets that you are learning through your curriculum, and where exactly you are going to make use of what you have learned so far in the 4 years of undergraduate program. This is what is the concept of outcome-based education. Okay. So now what is meant by what is the framework of OBE? See, the framework of OBE means, I told you, the first one is the curriculum design. The curriculum plays a major role here. So we have to take into consideration, see what is the vision of this university and what is the mission of this university and what is the vision of the department and what is the mission of the department. So that is why you can say once you enter the portals of MGR University, when you start attending classes, you will see all the display boards actually displaying this vision and mission of the university as well as the vision and mission of the departments, because there is a meaning for that. All the students should know, so what is the vision of the department, what is the vision of this institute, where exactly we are going, are we in tune with the vision of the institute? See, this is what is the importance. So the curriculum is also based, take into consideration the vision and the mission of the department as well as that. And there is additional thing is like that, the what is called program educational objectives. That means any academic program that you undertake, be it a mechanical engineering or a civil engineering or a computer science engineering or any biomedical engineering, whatever it may be, the branch of study you're studying. Okay, and you should know, see what is objective of your program. See, that is academic program. So that means after 3 years or 4 years of graduation, and where exactly, what are your capabilities? See, what is it you are going to achieve in future? So all those things are perfectly documented in the form of program educational objectives. So that is why I think, see, you should know this terminology. Program educational objectives gives you the list of capabilities that you acquire during the 4 years of graduation at MGR University. That means you acquire some capabilities. See, what are these capabilities? That is called, the capabilities are called the outcomes. The capabilities are called the outcomes. So, okay, that is why we define a course outcome. See, I think all of you will be given a syllabus copy, and in the syllabus copy, the university has provided you the list of courses that you have to undergo, and for every course, they have defined the course outcomes. See, what is the object of the course outcomes? The student should know why he is taking that particular course. See, not because it is given in the curriculum. So, okay, but every student should know why I am studying this particular course and what type of skills that I will get from this course, and what are the outcomes that I will get from these courses. See, what are the outcomes? That's what you're talking. Again, you will get a basic doubt. See what exactly mean by outcome. See, you're not very clear about the outcomes. See, outcomes means actually whenever you take a course. So if it is a mathematics course, if it is algorithms and design oriented courses, or if it is a mechanical courses, or whether it is electromagnetic theory for a LCE course or anything like that, you acquire some analytical capability. That means you have that ability to solve some mathematical equations which you come across in your discipline of engineering. That is what is analytical capability. And sometimes, I mean, you get a problem solving. This is also another outcome. And you should be able to demonstrate whatever the teacher has suggested to you and whatever the content that you have learned, actually you should be able to demonstrate to others. I mean, this is what is the demonstration is very, very important for all the students. I think as the students, you are going to participate in all India level hackathons, and you are going to write some proposals, okay, and you are going to submit innovative project proposals, and you are going to submit and discuss actually with your peers and with other experts and so on like that. These are all actually the capability to demonstrate. How did you get this capability? Because of the basic concept that you learn in each and every course. See, that way, these concepts are really useful for you to demonstrate whatever you have learned. This is what is also another outcome. And you are able to make use of the algorithms. You are able to make use of the fundamental principles to apply, okay, and to a different situation if you come across a similar situation. So this is why ability to apply whatever you have learned is another outcome. And also whatever you have learned, I mean, you should be able to communicate to others either in writing or in speaking. That is also what is the outcome. See, that is what is very important actually, even the project presentation or a hackathon or any paper presentation, whatever you have projected in your paper, whatever you projected in your project, you should be able to explain to others very clearly. So this is what is the ability to communicate. I mean, this is also another outcome. And also you have ability to create a new applications. That's why most of the students are developing a new mobile application as out of their passion. So, okay, that means actually this is some sort of a creation. This is an outcome that actually we can see out of your learning. And the technology utilization, the algorithm techniques and so on like that. Another thing is a good placement. A good placement, because you are able to explain, okay, your concept that you have learned, and you are able to project yourself properly. You are able to present yourself to the HR. So, okay, I mean, that type of communication capability and concepts, everything definitely will help you to get a good placement. And the good placement is also another outcome. And you might get an MS either in the National University of Singapore or maybe in Stanford or maybe in Harvard University or anywhere. I think you are aspiring to go abroad and do for higher studies. See, this for higher studies, actually what you require is some clarity in the concepts. See, that is what is also another outcome. So I have given the list of outcomes by which actually you can show your capability through learning. This is what exactly by learning. See, this is what we are going to focus more on that. Now that the teacher teaches the classes and conduct examinations, so on, we are not bothered about these things. But here in the outcome-based education, we are very, very particular whether the student has acquired these capabilities through the various courses. That is why whenever you go through the curriculum, please make sure about these course outcomes and what is the meaning of these course outcomes and why I am studying this particular course and so on. And this is a very, very important aspect. So, okay, this is what I mean by that. Suppose I will give an example like this. To develop a student into a competent professional. So, okay, I'm just taking a simple example. See, what is the expected goal from that? See, I wanted to develop a student into a competent professional. The expected goal is a competitive professional. See, what is the outcome here? The student should be able to gain some knowledge in his or her discipline, and shouldn't be able to get some skills, and the students to develop some behavioral skills or attitudes to investigate, to analyze, to apply the basic knowledge and the skills are he or she acquired. When a student join a particular program, you should know what is achieving or learning from the program. For that, you should look into the learning objectives and the learning outcomes. In OBE, we are no longer lay emphasis on the percentage of marks or a grade that he obtains. As engineering professional, we will focus on the overall professional development and a competency in the area of study through regular assessments, workshops, webinars, professional society activities, industrial visits, industrial internships. All of you are going to experience these academic activities. Sorry, all these experience academic activities during your 4 years of study. See, once you enter into our MGR University, you will witness these so many activities, the club activities, and these hackathons, and the student activities, and so on like that. Don't think actually they are wasteful. Actually, they contribute to your overall professional development, and they will contribute to your knowledge, and they will contribute to your skills that you get. So actually now I can say there is a paradigm shift from the teacher-centric to the student-centric learning. The general philosophy of OBE is not what we teach, but it is what you learn. This is what I had started from the beginning, from the Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan's things like that. Whenever you think that you know something, actually you are in a myth. That means you have not learned anything. So, okay, so knowing something and learning something, these are entirely two different concepts. So that is why knowing something, you know so many things actually, but that doesn't mean you're learning each and everything. So that is, I think that distinction you must be very clear. So let me clearly define what is meant by objective and the outcome. Because I think the students, I wanted to bring this concept into a very simple form so that you will not feel out of place actually when somebody asks you about outcome-based education. See, what is an objective? What is an objective is the statements that define the expected goals of an educational activity. Statements that define the expected goals of an educational activity. The educational activity, say, maybe your undergraduate program, maybe a webinar, or maybe a workshop, or maybe an international conference, or like that. So these are all identified as several educational activities. So, okay, and from each and every activity, there is expected goal that you can expect from each and every activity. So that only thing is, all of you may take it in a very jovial fashion actually, or maybe as a student, I mean, you take it as a, some sort of a entertainment and so on like that, but you should never think like that. See, here the teachers are very serious, okay, and they are well qualified, and they arrange so many webinars for your benefit. And each and every webinar will contribute to something actually, that is what is called the content beyond the syllabus. Because teachers definitely will see this syllabus has its own limitations like this, and there is a big gap between what the industry requires and what is given in the curriculum. So the teachers will try to bridge the gap actually between the industry requirements and the curriculum requirements through these type of supplementary programs like the webinars, these workshops, and international symposiums, and so on like that. My sincere advice to all the students is to actively participate in each and every activity and try to get benefit out of these activities instead of taking them as a mere entertainment, as a passing. That's all, as passing of the time and so on. See, outcome. See, outcome is a written statement that reflects what the learner will be able to do as a result of participating in an educational activity. See, this is what I have explained. That means outcome is nothing but the capabilities that you acquire from these things. So now the sample outcomes I have given already. So these outcomes can be broadly classified as actually three domains of learning. One is a cognitive domain of learning, that is a knowledge that you get from each and every course. So whenever you study a particular course, actually, I think our curriculum is also designed in such a way that actually it broadly covers three domains of learning. One is a cognitive domain, another is affective domain, another is a psychomotor domain. See, what is a cognitive domain? A cognitive domain means the basic knowledge that you get from your courses. So that is what it may be, a mathematics, it may be a physics, or it may be chemistry, mechanical or civil, electrical, whatever it may be. You are going to get some knowledge, okay, from your fundamental disciplines of engineering. And effective, that is, effective is nothing but a behavioral. Behavioral means attitude. So that means if you take a particular course, actually, you develop some attitude. What is this attitude? The attitude to solve some real problems, attitude to analyze the problem, see, attitude to synthesize the problem. See, that is what is a very important attitude. That is important actually for a student to succeed in his lifetime. I mean, you should develop a very good attitude. So, okay, attitude is not actually a God-given, but also you get through some sort of a rigorous training from these two teachers and your parents also. And all of you will get that type of attitude. This attitude, behavioral attitude, can be used differently in a different situations. So, okay, either you can use it wisely or you can use it very badly also. See, that is what my advice to all of the students is, to use it wisely. So, okay, to solve some realistic problems. Okay, I mean, this is very, very important. That is going to be the focus of outcome-based education. So one is, how do you solve the engineering problems, realistic engineering problems? Are you ready to solve an engineering problem? See, this is what is one of the important concept of learning. Are you ready? At the end of 4 years, are you ready to solve any realistic problem? Are you to face the situation? Because whenever you join any corporate, whenever you are joining in an organization, I mean, you come across this type of different situations where you may have to solve entirely a different type of situation which you have not come across in your earlier studies. So that is why I mean, you should be able to make use of whatever you have studied, whatever principles that you have learned, whatever the concept that you have learned, and how best I can make use of these concepts and the principles to solve that particular problem. See, that is what is the completely, that's what you are seeing. And we talk about innovations, we talk about the creativity, we talk about so many things. Actually, we talk about the patents and so on. Because the students have ingenious power. So, okay, they have a very innovative capabilities. Only thing is the teachers have to nurture them properly, and the curriculum should really guide them. And if you take into consideration these two aspects, the students, I'm quite confident the students will be a thorough innovators. I'm very confident about it. I have a lot of faith in my students. It's okay. And the last one is the psychomotor skills. See, I think all of you know about this. The national education policy now is focusing more on the skill-oriented education also. The students should acquire more and more skills so that they can enter into any profession with a greater confidence, and they can face the future with a great confidence. This is an objective of the education system. This is what is an objective of national education policy. Now they wanted to go from a traditional system to outcome-based education system. So that is why we are asked to revamp the academic curriculum to suit the outcome-based education. So, okay, that is what it is very important, like that. And skills. So some of the courses that you study, there are mostly skill-oriented courses. Mostly skill-oriented courses. I mean, you develop skills actually. So, okay, with it may be solving a civil engineering problem or a mechanical engineering problem or a electrical problem like this. I think you develop some skills. Through skills, actually, you learn those things. So, okay, the curriculum, that is why I don't want to go very deep into the curriculum aspects of it. Tomorrow, my colleague, Dr. Ganeshan, is going to explain in detail how the curriculum has been revamped in MGR curriculum to take into consideration the outcome-based framework. He is going to explain. I don't want to enter into his territory now. So, okay, see, as far as this is concerned, see, now I'll define the outcome-based education. See, outcome-based education is a student-centric teaching and learning methodology in which the instruction, delivery, and assessments are planned to achieve stated objectives and outcomes. So I have given the brief introduction about the learning objectives, learning outcomes. I have given examples and so on like that. What is the philosophy I have given? It is a student-centric rather than teacher-centric and so on like that. So OBE is a student-centric teaching and learning methodology. So, okay, and whatever the teachers also, teachers might make use of different pedagogies, like a project-based learning or activity-based learning or a puzzle-based learning or a conventional chalkboard lectures and so on like that. There are so many and case study approaches there. By all these approaches, actually, the teachers will make the students learn something from each and every course. So that is the reason why even the teachers should not restrict themselves to only chalk and board lectures or presenting the PPTs, but they should also focus on innovative teaching methods or teaching pedagogies. The idea of these teaching pedagogies is to make the students learn more and more. So, okay, then another thing is instructional delivery. That is what I talked about. Instruction delivery is that way in which you deliver the lecture is very, very important. So, okay, that is one thing. And the assessments are also planned in such a way that actually the teacher, students will be able to able to solve some problems, able to solve some case studies and so on like that. So that means you are really testing their abilities, whatever they have acquired through these courses in the assessments. So, okay, are we doing the right thing or not? It is $100 million question. I think that is the reason why I always find the question papers are lack the compatibility with the outcome-based education. So, okay, so that is the reason why, anyway, my appeal to all these teachers also and the students, I think, to be more watchful on these assignments and these assessments. So, okay, now there are 4 levels of outcomes actually like this. One is the program education objectives, which I have already explained to you. Okay, and the program outcomes and the program specific outcomes, course outcomes. So, okay, I will tell you what is that this one. Program education objectives I already told. After the graduation, 3 to 4 years of graduation, what is that you are going to achieve? So, okay, I mean through your curriculum, through your training for 4 years. So that is what it is, the assessment program education objectives. So we have to clearly specify. That is means actually we have keeping the students in mind. And we are keeping what is the focus of our particular program. What is going to be the focus of our students? Actually, what my students should do after 3 to 4 years of graduation. I mean, that is should have that well-defined objective when you are drafting your curriculum. See, that is the reason why most of the industries they are asking actually like that, is it industry-ready curriculum? Or is it a futuristic curriculum? See, these are 2 important aspects like this in the curriculum design. Another is the program outcomes. I must tell you these program outcomes. There are broadly, I think I must talk about this ABET, American Board of Accreditation of the Engineering Technology, ABET, that is International Accreditation, and NBA. Of course, NBA has in fact followed the ABET and this one. And ABET has given about 12 graduates. These are called graduate attributes and they are called the program outcomes. That means these 12 graduate attributes, I think every undergraduate student of engineering should have these 12 graduate attributes. That means these capabilities. That is immaterial, whether it's a mechanical or electrical or a civil or CSE or IT. I mean, you should have these 12 attributes. That is what is called the 12 outcomes we have defined. One is a knowledge base. That means what are the fundamental principles that you acquire from mathematics, physics, and chemistry. That is the reason why first year is very, very crucial for all of you. See, I mean, don't take it very easy actually, because we have studied at +2 level and physics, chemistry, and so on. Why should we do like this? No, because there are core subjects, the core fundamental subjects for engineering actually like this. And what are these concepts that you learn, which you are going to apply for all your engineering disciplines and so on. That is a knowledge base that you are getting that. That is the first one thing like that. Second one is a problem analysis. I mean, you should be able to clearly analyze the problem, synthesize the problem. I mean, you should be able to synthesize, because any engineer should have that. So that is what is the basic definition of engineering, a systematic way of approaching the problem. So, okay, I mean, I will ask the question and say, what is the difference between engineering and technology? I think people will not be able to answer that much like that. But an engineer, I mean, should have the capability to analyze, to synthesize, to plan, to everything do that in a very systematic manner. So I guess the problem solving. That is what is called a PO2. And 3, investigation. You should have the capability to investigate. So you have to unravel the mysteries actually in the situation that you are given like this. Suppose you are given a new problem in your company. I mean, you should not break down and so on like with the company and so on like that. Okay, and you should be able to analyze, synthesize why he has given the problem. That's why you should be able to investigate. So that investigation capability that leads you to do some research also. See, now undergraduate students are directly can enter into a PhD program straight away as far as the National Education Policy is concerned, NEP. So that is why you should also, we are also introducing that particular concept. We are trying to make undergraduate students are also good in research. That means a good in investigation, the problems. So this is also, we have introduced that particular concept also into our curriculum. And design, that is a PO4 is a design. I mean, you should be able to design. You should be able to write down new programs. You should be able to design a new devices. You should be able to design a new equipments and so on like that. That capability, you should be able to get that. And you should be able to make use of engineering tools. There are several tools. Public domain tools are there, several tools are available, and you should be able to make use of those tools actually in your applications, in your engineering profession, wherever you are doing like this. So that is why you are developing the capability to make use of these tools available in the public domain. So that is what we have to learn like that. That is what is the PO5. And this PO6 is the teamwork. Essentially, teamwork is very, very essential for any success. So you cannot actually wave one hand, actually you cannot make a noise. However, vehemently wave one hand. Unless you join two hands, actually you cannot make a noise. See, that is the reason why. And if you want to make an impact on the profession that you are studying, I mean, you should always involve yourself into a teamwork. You should take everybody into confidence. I mean, it is not, that is very, very important. Actually, that's where most of the lacking. If you lack the teamwork, you'll be isolated. And 7.1 is the communication skills. Whatever you have learned, you should be able to communicate very effectively to others. See, that is why most of the industries, actually professionals, they talk to me and saying that, see, if your students are very good in cracking the problems. Okay, even hardnet, coconut problems also they will solve. Very hardnet problems they will solve. But if you ask them to write down what they have done, they are incapable of doing that. That is what they say like this. So, okay, that means they don't have a communication capability in writing skills. Whatever they don't do, they're not able to express themselves properly. This is what I think all of you should keep that in mind. Okay, next is PO8 is the professionalism that you have to talk about this. And professional, I think everything is a profession now. I think, are you professional, thoroughly professional? That means overall professional development. See, that is the reason why I told you PO8. PO9 is a society and environment. Whatever you do, you always keep the society in mind. You have to follow some ethical principles. You have to follow some engineering values to your profession and so on like that. All those things are part and parcel of your curriculum now. And whatever course that you are doing, is there an ethical value in this or not? I mean, you should be able to discuss about that. So that you should have that capability to analyze each and every situation, whether it is ethically correct or not, whether I should do it or not. See, all those aspects you have to think about it. And that is a P9. And P10 is ethics and equity. Okay, that is society, I think, environment. You have to keep the society environment. That is P10 is ethics, equity. And P11 is economics. That means the economics, you say commerce, I should be able to find out the finances actually like this. See, generally the engineers are not good in finances. So, okay, so it is not like only designing, but at the same time, you should be able to market that particular design, whatever you have designed, you should be able to market to the customers, and you should be able to reach out the customers, and you should be able to explain what is the specialty of your product, and I mean, you should be able to cost your product actually. I mean, what are the factors that go into the costing of your product and so on like that. I mean, these are all the capabilities that you should learn. That is the PO11. And the PO12 is the lifelong learning. See, lifelong learning is very, 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 very important for an engineer like this. And whatever you have studied in 4 years, you should never forget. Okay, can anybody forget actually the trigonometry? No. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Everybody knows. A plus B whole square, no. See, I mean, basically, if you look at the mathematics in the +2 level, all those things you learn. Some of the fundamental concepts. Okay, you can never learn, forget about these things actually, lifelong. I mean, you are going to make it out. That is how that capability should have, even if you join an engineering profession. Okay, there are some things like that. So, okay, you have to make use of that. Then only you can shine in your curriculum, you can make inroads into your career. Otherwise, you will be stagnated. And once you are stagnated, that means you are out of job. So if you want to come up in the ladder, actually, and you have to learn new things, and you have to attend the new workshops, okay, and you have to equip yourself. You have to keep abreast of the latest technologies, and this is the work concept of life learning, that is the PO12. And these are the 12 attributes any engineering graduate should have. So, okay, apart from that, the program specific outcomes, PSOs, I think this is also in your curriculum handbook. See, why I'm explaining all those things is that when you go through the curriculum handbook, you are familiar with these things. Oh, because concern Professor Mehta told like this, okay, we can think about it like program specific outcomes means through your curriculum, what are the skill sets you are getting it, and what is your capabilities that you are acquiring from each and every course. And we are going to describe them in the program specific outcomes based on these things. Those PO12, they're all general attributes for any engineer. The program specific outcomes are pertaining to each and every discipline. Okay, any discipline. That means if it is a mechanical engineering, I mean, you have some program specific outcomes. If it is aeronautical engineering, you will have some specific program outcomes. If it is, say, data science and engineering and so on, you will have specific program outcomes like this. So you should distinguish between these things. And every course, you will have a course outcomes. That these are through all these levels of outcome, we should be able to assess the usefulness of the curriculum, individual competence of the students. The most important feature of OB is that all students are expected to be successful. All the students are expected to be successful. I will underline these things. And here, the success depends not only on the teacher, but also on the students. So, okay, the students actually should also involve themselves in the learning, along with the teachers. They should learn. So, okay, and once you learn these concepts, once you follow these things like that, definitely will be successful. And the students should not think that is the responsibility of the teachers to make them successful, but the students should also play their role. So, okay, then why this OBE? So, okay, I'm trying to answer these questions. So why this OBE? Why is coming to the picture here? So, okay, OBE, I think you might have heard about NBA, NAC, PS ranking, NIRF ranking, Times ranking, and so on like that. For the students, actually, most of the students nowadays, I mean, they're asking these questions. What is your NBA ranking? What is your NAC ranking? And so on like that. What do they mean by this? First of all, I think most of the students ask me, sir, you are asking, you are telling so much about OBE. Oh, why do you need this, sir? Actually, what we require is only 8.34. We must qualify ourselves for the placement. CGPA of 8.5 I want. That's all I want. So I don't want anything else. Why should I learn about all these outcomes? That is what the most of the students responded to me when I interacted with the students. My dear friends, that is not the way you see here. See, NBA, I'm telling you, I'll talk about the Washington Accord. See, there are some signatories of the Washington Accord, like, for example, USA and Canada, Australia, then Singapore, then Korea, and New Zealand. And there are so many other countries, actually, they have signed a Washington Accord based on some benchmark in the studies, in the academic program that they follow in their countries. So, okay, and India has also joined the bandwagon, and India has also signed the Washington Accord. I think this is the 6th year or 7th year of the Washington Accord. Okay, we are going. So what is the use of this Washington Accord? Means your degree is on par with the degree that you get from USA or UK or Australia or anywhere else. So, okay, so that means with this degree, straight away you can go to US and get admission to MS program without writing any other special examination. I think almost all the students are aware. The students are asked to write a separate examination. Actually, even I'm talking about the few years back, all the students are asked to write the examinations because our way of teaching is different, their way of teaching is different, curriculum is different, like this, because we are not following the international benchmarkings. Now, through this Washington Accord, we are expected to follow the international benchmarking actually in the curriculum design, in the assessments, and the assessing the students and so on like that. See, that is the reason why this NBA accreditation is required. NBA accreditation is required. So that makes your program, academic program, is on par with any of the programs offered elsewhere. And straight away you can take this degree and walk into any of these countries and get admissions without being examined once again. That is an advantage of NBA. That is an advantage of Washington Accord. I think I made my point very clear to all of you. The same thing NAC. NAC is also assess the what are the benchmarks that you are following in each and every academic institution. The QS ranking, NIRF ranking, Times ranking, all these rankings are, only thing is they are the reflections of the academic standards they are being followed in each and every institution. Are they, when compared to the international ranking, what is their standard? What is their ranking? See, fortunately, our MGR in first 100 rankings now is one of the 92nd, I think, the top ranking engineering institution offering the programs. See, first 100 is always considered to be the top ranking institution in the world. So, okay, as far as NIF ranking, ours is one of these top ranking 100 universities in the country. That is why I think I congratulate all of you to get into this prestigious university. I think you should make best use of these facilities and the teachers available at our university. Then the question is, why should we have OBE-based approach for this academic program? That's the next question. Okay, since all the students are expected to succeed, much depends on the curriculum, teachers' efforts to follow innovative teaching pedagogies to make the students learn. It allows the simultaneous engagement of students and staff. In fact, the student engagement is one of the important factors for any educational institutions. Okay, whether you are attending, that is the reason why we brought in so many other things. You can attend the NPTEL courses, you can attend the SWAYAM courses. We are conducting all these webinars and so on like that. What is the purpose of these courses like this? So we wanted to engage the students in learning. We want them to learn. See, that is the reason why we are providing a lot of avenues, opportunities for the students to learn by themselves. Okay. Madam, I think if I'm crossing the time, please let me know. Since all the students develop and acquire some technical and behavioral skills, they'll be useful for them to excel in their respective jobs. Their placement opportunities are more for the skills they acquire, the knowledge they gain, and exposure to current topics, logistics of the industrial relevance. Since the lifelong learning is one of the facets of OBE, the students will be able to cope up with the latest technology developments and adjust to the dynamically changing requirements of the industry. And this is very, very important actually. The industries, their requirements are very dynamic. And especially when you're talking about the CSC, computer science and IT, the rate of obsolescence for these areas is just 6 months. See, whatever the skills, whatever the tools that you learn, whatever the things that are going to be obsolete after 6 months. So that means it requires a continuous learning, lifelong learning. I mean, that is where I have listed all these program outcomes. These capabilities will help you to achieve actually in your life. So planning is very important for engineers. OBE gives you the scientific way of preparing yourself to face any adverse situation. This may help to plan your assessments and maximize your efforts for your preparation. So this is what actually the OBE. Why have introduced the concept of OBE is like this. It allows the students to prepare themselves properly. It should allow. And not only that, it also allows the teachers to plan his or her lectures. That is the reason why, as a part of OBE, we insist on the lesson plans. What is the implication of a lesson plan? Here is like this. See what is the delivery, the order in which the teacher is delivering to the students. So that is what we are documenting each and every aspect of it. So, okay, I mean, you are supposed to teach 45 hours to a particular student like this, and how effectively you are teaching the 45 hours to the students. So that is why this course plan. And the course plan must be available for the students. And the students can ask the teacher, madam or sir, I mean, you have introduced these topics in the course plan, but you have not covered these points. That is an advantage of course plan. And why it should be documented, why should be in the public domain, I have just explained to you. That is the concept of outcome-based education. That is why whenever we go for the accreditation, we will examine all those issues to the any institutions. Well, my dear students, I have been talking about outcome-based education, but what are the expectations from the students? The students are expected to be able to be more challenging tasks other than memorize and reproduce what was taught. So that's the first important thing that you should think about it. The students play a more active role. It should not be a passive, more active role in learning. The students are expected to be able to do more challenging tasks other than to memorize and reproduce what was taught. See, this is what, no longer we don't need any photographic memories. We don't want any students to write 50 to 70 pages of that. See, one of my students actually in operating systems, actually when I taught the course at Anna University, and in the terrible examination, mind you, he wrote 70 pages for the subject. I have counted the additional sheets, 70 pages. I mean, to that extent, he has memorized and he wrote. But I don't know. Now I'll see my perception is entirely different. How much he has learned in operating systems actually from that my lectures. See, I have a different way of assessing every student's capability. Not by the number of pages that you write, by the quality of the answer that you give. See, that is very, very important. And the student should be able to write the project proposals, complete projects, analyze case studies, give case presentations, show their abilities to think, question, research, and make decisions based on the findings. And this is also one of the expectations from the students. Okay, students should be able to write project proposals. I mean, this is very, very important when you go for hackathon competitions. And they analyze the case studies, give case presentations when you go for a student symposiums, and how the ability to think, question, research when you go for a research. Straight away, most of the students in abroad, okay, I mean, even in some of the institutions in IITs, after BTech students, they are going for a research. Okay, because they have the ability to think, they have the ability to investigate and so on. Be more creative, able to analyze and synthesize information, and able to plan, organize tasks, able to work in a team as a community or an entrepreneur service teams to propose solutions to problems and market their solutions. I think through these things, I have explained, see what our expectation from the student, and the student should not be a passive listeners, but they must be active listeners. I expect the student to be more active participants in each and every class, and the student should be able to question the teachers actually I mean, this is what is required of the outcome-based education. Then only they can learn something actually. And the students should go out of this university with quantum of learning actually from each and every teacher. Well, my dear students, unless we join together, we can't make any inroads for the success of students. So that is the reason why the teachers and the students should join together in order to be successful, and let us play this role very effectively in our university. Once again, I will welcome all the students for this prestigious university. I think you should make use of these facilities available. I wish you all the best and have a very useful stay at MGR. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude makes sense for our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all dignitaries assembled here. First, I would like to thank our founder chairman, Dr. A.C.S. Shanmugam sir, our honorable president, engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar sir. Next, I would like to thank Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lashmi ma'am, Provost, Rector, Registrar, Additional Registrar, Joint Registrars, Deans, Deputy Deans, HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff. I would like to thank our Joint Registrar, First Year ENT, Dr. N.S. Subhashri ma'am. Next, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. K.M. Mehta sir, who honored this event with his talk on importance of outcome-based education and curriculum design. Finally, I would like to thank students for making this event a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now we are moving to session 2. I request Rekha ma'am to take over.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone for the student induction program, Deeksharambh 2023 to 2024. On the behalf of the first year engineering and technology, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our founder, Chancellor Honorable Dr. A.C.S. Shanmugam sir, our Honorable President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar sir, Vice Chancellor Dr. Geeta Lakshmi ma'am, Provost, Rectors, Registers, Additional Register, all joint registers, teens, deputy teens, HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff. Now I would like to welcome our joint register, first year ENT, Dr. N.S. Subhashri ma'am. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker of the session, Mr. Arun Rajaya, CU, CEO and Managing Director of Orange Holding, a visionary and entrepreneur, startup mentor, venture, capitalist, and thought leader. He has more than 20 years experience of diverse industries. To name a few, he has experience in IT, robotic, retail, finance, investment, and non-profit organization. He is a serial entrepreneur with a flawless passion for the identifying young leader and has helped countless entrepreneurs and business to overcome challenges to achieve greater success. Happy to have such a wonderful personality for this season today. Once again, I welcome you, sir.
Sir, could you unmute the mic, sir?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Sir, do you have PPT with you, sir?
Yes, I have. 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Let me be able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Arun Rajaya. I'm a Group CEO and Managing Director of Orange Holdings Limited. Before we start about the topic, I would like to give you a brief on who I am. So I started my career in 2004 as a service engineer in a small retail shop, and worked in IT industry for some time, and started my own business. And I sold the business to bigger MNC, and I started multiple business. So I have around 20 years of experience in IT, real estate, finance, venture capital. Now I mostly work with the startups. I help new entrepreneurs, young leaders. I groom young leaders, and we also help small startups to scale up and go big across different countries. So today we are going to speak about entrepreneurship. So this is a very interesting topic, and I have very good experience in the entrepreneurship world for last 12 years. So it's called people who takes risks, challenge a bigger problem, or called entrepreneurs. So how they do that? Through starting a business, or creating employment, or solving a bigger problem. Maybe it could be a social venture, right? So uh, entrepreneurship is very important for any country, right? So I will explain you why it's very important, right? If you see the top 5 powerful countries in the world, uh, they are called top countries because they have a really good GDP, right? So US first, and you have China, and you have Japan, Germany, India. The reason these countries are called as a powerful country is through the number of business they start within the country. Okay. If you see, but no, if as a government, and the government requires taxes to run the government, right? So many social responsible things are happening in the government, and how the government operates is very important, right? So as a government, we need a cash flow to run the whole nation, right? So how the cash flow is generated, right? It's basically generated through business, right? Normally, if you buy any product from a shop, or a big shop company buying a product from a big wholesaler, or wholesaler buying it from a manufacturer, it's a very big chain, right? So if any of this stops, the economy stops, right? So that's why many countries, even in India, we have something called Startup India. In US, we have similar ideas. In Japan, we have similar things. In Germany, we have similar things, because government always encourage people to start a business, right? And by providing them funds, by providing them tax benefits. So by doing that, the government encourage people to start the business, so that they will create job opportunities for many people in the country. For example, if you say Swiggy, for example, right? So it created lakhs and lakhs of jobs across India, right? So it is just a mobile app, but how they are generating this many jobs, right? So this is by solving a larger problem, right? So entrepreneurship is very important for any country. So to make social change, uplift the revenue they are making in the country, and also uplift any citizen, to make them earn more. And by doing that, the purchasing power increases within the country, right? So that's the reason government politician always come with a policy which always supports the business people. So if you say, in a country who is very powerful person, right? So majority of a country, it's run by business, right? So, and because the business, without business, the government won't be functioning. So any country has a really top business people who makes the policy in the country. Not only run the business, but they also involved in getting the policy done for the citizens and how the country should be looking after 25 years. These are all done with the help of business people, right? So entrepreneurship is very, very important, right? And if you see these people, right? So you might have seen most of them. They're all the richest people, and they are also started their business as a startup, right? So when they started, maybe they are 1 person or 2 person business, right? Bill Gates starts with 2 of his friends. Jeff Bezos starts alone. Mark Zuckerberg starts with 2 of his friends. Elon Musk starts with his brother, right? So most of the businesses started very, very small, right? After 20 years, if we see how they have grown in just 20 years in this technology revolution, majority of the people who are here are actually deciding what will be the future and what will be the future of that country, particular country, right? Let's say Jeff Bezos, if Amazon actually revolutionized the whole retail industry, right? Especially through e-commerce. If you go anywhere, Amazon. Say, but whenever when Jeff Bezos started his business, he was just selling books online, right? Now they are everywhere. They are even ready to launch a rocket or take people to different planets, right? Similarly for Elon Musk, when he started, he just started a classifieds business. That was his first business, right? Classified is something like OLX or the quickly. So it was a very simple business. But right now, he's already the richest person in the world, right? Similarly, like Larry Page is Google, and we have Jack Ma, who also from e-commerce industry. He almost changed the whole China's economy just through his website, Alibaba.com, right? So if you see the people who are here, majority of they start from a very, very small scale, right? And they always have a skill which is called entrepreneurial skill, right? So what is entrepreneurial skill, right? So as I said before, that entrepreneurship is all about risk taking, right? But majority of the people who have fear to take risks, right? For example, people know, what if I fail, right? What if more than that, people always think, what people will think about me if I fail, right? If you see the people who are here, they have failed multiple times, right? Amazon was the first business they started, right? Microsoft was not the first business. Facebook is not the first business. They have done multiple things before and they have failed, right? The people who don't give up even if they fail and keep moving forward, right, with a different set of focus and their vision to what they want to become, is an entrepreneurial skill, right? So entrepreneurship is not all about moving forward, okay? If you fail, learn from it and move forward, right? It's not like if they fail, okay, I'm going back to the job to work in some other company. No, there's not entrepreneurial skill. Entrepreneurial skill is all about moving forward. If you fail, learn it, move. And if you fail it again, learn from that and move on, right? I will give you an example of how the WhatsApp actually formed, right? So when WhatsApp is not their first um, uh, product, right? So there are a team of 12 people who would keep developing different products, and tens and hundreds of only after tens and hundreds of failures they came up with the product called WhatsApp, right? And if you see from a technology perspective, since I am also from a technology background, building a WhatsApp is not challenging, right? But they found the right problem to solve, and they solved it using technology, right? Previously, SMS was very expensive, right? So you can even if it is a free, you have to send it only 100 per day, and if it's more than that, you have to top up for the SMS. Okay, so on the other side, there was data which is already cheaper than SMS. So they utilized the data and created some application called WhatsApp, right? So this is very interesting, how people are solving the problem. It doesn't come just like that. You have to fail multiple times to fix the right a bigger problem, right? Without those failures, you won't be able to create a solution or a better solution for a bigger problem, right? So that's how WhatsApp was built. If you see, even the founder applied for Facebook for a job, he got rejected. But the same Facebook bought WhatsApp for $16 billion, right? It's huge amount, right? If you see, if you see the WhatsApp after they bought, it become Meta's product, and he also came in Meta company, and now recently he's moving away and he wants to start something new, right? So the entrepreneur skill won't stop, right? Even if you create one product, right? When you start learning how to face the failures and move forward with a new thing, you'll be able to you will be addicted to solving more problems. So that's why if you see many business people, they try to have multiple companies trying to solve different problems through their experience. So even in my experience, where we are heading Orange Holding is it's not a one company. I run multiple companies in a different industry. Why I'm doing that? So I'm a technology background, I'm a software guy, but I also now I work with the real estate. Now I work with gold. Now I work with finance, right? So this is actually it's an entrepreneur skill which is taking me to solve different problems, even though I don't know the industry, right? So it's a continuous learning process, right? So I started a business and I have a lot of money, so I'm going to retire. No, it's not like that. Entrepreneur skill will not allow you to do that, right? So it will try to solve multiple problems, right, with whatever skill you have. So how you have that mindset, okay? So I said it's not moving. I said it's all about moving forward. So how you build that mindset, right? So if you want to build the mindset, you need to have a certain habits which will actually become on the entrepreneurial mindset. Number one is focusing on what you want to achieve and going towards not a larger step, but taking a smaller step to achieve your goals. It's a really good habit. And the other thing is consistency, right? So if you're doing something consistently, without giving any break, then you'll be able to have this mindset. The other very important thing, as I said before, is breaking the barriers, right? So we call it as breaking a barriers. There are a web series in those names, but breaking barriers, it's a mindset which will help you to avoid, not only avoid, but accept the failures and start working again or start building again on what you want to build, right? So this mindset is very, very important. If you see, as I showed before, the people who are already richest people in the world, those people have this mindset, right? Some people wake up in 4 o'clock in the morning, some people wake up 7:30 in the morning, and some people even have 2 different days in a particular day, right? So that they can achieve more. For example, if Elon Musk, he says he only sleeps for 6 hours or 5 hours, he sleeps in the office. He's the richest person in the world. He can go wherever he wants. But those kind of people have this mindset to to solve a very big problem, right? So that's what you call it as entrepreneur mindset. Okay, what is not? See, normally there is a myth, right? So if you start a business, you will become a richest person, right? So from my experience, I have seen many businesses. I worked with many businesses. I worked with many small entrepreneurs. If you think about money, right, you won't be able to succeed, right? Let's say if I'm going to start a business, so I'll become a richest person in the world. No, if you think like that, and if you're approaching a business in that way, you won't be able to successful, right? So what you should think, so you have to try to understand what is your business is all about, right? For example, I will take a Uber as an example, right? So for this skill, you don't need much technical knowledge, okay, even though Uber is a technology company. But when you try largest things, right, normally before 15 years, if you want to book a cab or book an auto, either you have to go stand outside and see if there is an auto stand is there, you have to go there and negotiate the price, and then you can take an auto. And before that, there was radio taxis. If you call them and they will tell you the time, you have to call the driver and ask where they should come, right? And then you will take the taxi and leave, right? So this was happening 15 years before, right? So problem, see, as an entrepreneur's mindset, how you see this as a problem, right? One, I'm wasting my time explaining where the taxi driver should come, right? And I'm wasting the time walking to a different place to find the auto, right? And then giving the payment and negotiating payments, it's very challenging for me, right? So how this is what Uber is trying to solve, right? You book wherever you are, you just book a cab, the cab will be there without even making you a call, right? And then you get in, you get out, you show the price, and you pay the price whatever the system says, right? It saves some amount of time for everyone, right? So this is a very good way of solving a problem. Okay, so whether it's a special skill set required to build this thing, no. GPS was there even 15 years before, right? So, and making the mobile app was there, right, from 2007, right? And then making a call within the app, it was there, VoIP was there already. So entrepreneur found these are the opportunities, these are the products already there. Why can't we put together and build something in a single app, right? So that's how Uber was built. Nothing extraordinary, nothing technologically hi-fi kind of thing, but if you have multiple solutions already available, if you know how to put together, and if that solves a bigger problem, okay, if you go anywhere in the world, they had the same problem 15 years before, not only in India, anywhere in the world. Even if I go to China, if I want to get a cab, it's very challenging. Now if I go to any country, I can book a cab. I don't need to know their language as well, right? So it's making it very simple. So when you are starting a real business, you have to think like that, right? If you put the money first, right? So whatever you build, the product which you build actually will be solving the problem, right? So there is, for example, something called pets.com. It was there in US. It's the biggest failure, right? In .com revolution. Okay, so even the stock market crashed during that time. So if you're trying to solve a problem, you need to understand the problem very well, right? If you understand the problem very well, you will be able to solve it very well. So when you're thinking about the business, you think what is the problem you're trying to solve, not how much money you're going to earn, right? If you do that, the money is just a byproduct. When you grow, the money will come along. Right? So, okay, entrepreneurship, when you compare it with a corporate culture, right? So normally, I just want to complete my course and I want to work in some company. And no, that's fine. That's good. Majority of the people are comfortable with that. But entrepreneurship is not about being in a comfortable stage, right? It's about taking risks, right? But how you can implement the same entrepreneurship skill in a corporate, right? So there are companies, there are very big companies, they have an entrepreneurship culture, right? Even you work in a company, you can build your own ideas, you can build your own thoughts. So for example, if you say Google has that kind of mindset, Apple has that kind of mindset. So you can form your own team, you can build any product which will be good for that company. Okay, so that's how Android was built, that's how Google Chrome was built. Okay, so both was headed by Sundar Pichai. And so Android was just bought, Google just bought Android, and Sundar Pichai was heading that company and saying that product. And they thought of, why can't we build this as a really large mobile operating system, right? So that revolutionized the whole mobile market, right? So they started directly working with the manufacturers, and they gave manufacturers a concern, no, you can use our product for free. And then all the mobiles manufacturers started building mobile devices which works on Android, right? So this is actually created within a company. And the other thing is Chrome is the largest used Chrome internet browser in the world. And if you see, Chrome was built as a small project in Google, right? That was also headed by Mr. Sundar Pichai, but slowly it became and captured the market in a larger scale, right? So even if you have an entrepreneur skill, right? Even in my company, we encourage people to have that kind of skill. And if you have that skill, it will also help in a larger company. Okay, and this skill is very important. As I said before, even big companies are started with a small team, right? If you say, for example, if you say Byju's, it was started with 2 people. If we call Zoho, it was started with a small team, 4-member team. If we Freshdesk started with a small team, and they don't even have an office, right? They just booked in their apartment, and that's how it is started. If you have that skill, you will be able to start anything from small. And if you want to work in a company, if the company has that kind of environment where you can show your entrepreneurship skill, that is also welcome, right? So people who work inside, who have entrepreneurial skill and they want to build something inside a bigger organization, they are called entrepreneurs. Okay, they work for a bigger corporate, and they build products for the corporate, which will become one of the biggest product in the company itself, right? So Google builds lots of product, right? It's not only product. You have YouTube, we have multiple things. Gmail is there, multiple things are there. So those are all built by the employees who has this entrepreneurial skill. So the company normally, even nowadays, many companies are having that kind of environment where people come, share their idea and build the team, and they start developing something new, right? So those are called entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, as I said before, starting your own business on your own way, it's called entrepreneurs. So there is something called social entrepreneurship. So social entrepreneurship is all about building a product, but not keeping profit in mind. Okay, they keep impact in mind, right? For example, if you're starting any business and let's say if you starting any antique, handmade apparels or handmade apparels from women. Okay, so those kind of things, or of course it's a business, but you are trying to create a financial freedom for the woman at large, right? So if you're building something, only e-commerce website only where women can sell their handmade product there, which is a social entrepreneurship. Okay, you are running a business, but you're still helping many women to be financially stable. So these kind of entrepreneurship is called social entrepreneurship. So we have entrepreneurship, and social entrepreneurship. So what is the difference here, right? So so it's all about playing a safe game, I would say, right? So people who have who are afraid to start because of their failure, or because of their fund, because they don't have enough support to start their own business, they normally join in a company, and they use that skills to develop the company or develop the product within the company, right? So those are all entrepreneurs. People who ready to take risk, they already have experience before. Many people who already worked in a job quit their job and then become an entrepreneur. I was also like that, right? And social entrepreneurship is all about trying to figure out the real social problem, right? So it's not a real problem, right? If you, for example, there is a company in northern part of India, so they gave solar lights for all the business, or very less amount. If you see what is it's just selling a light, what's so big in that? But they found where the crime rates are high in the northern part of country, and they try to give those street lights in solar. So putting a light in a place is actually solving, reduce their crime rate in the particular state, right? So people who understand this are social entrepreneurs. Okay, they don't care about the profitability of the company. Of course, it will be profitable, but not a large scale. But they will be able to run the business of whatever money they have. So these are social entrepreneurs. So you have to pick where you want to be, right? So once you build the skill, you have to use the skill somewhere, right? Either you work in a big company and use it there, or you want to start your own business and do it there, or you want to create some impact in the country or in the world, you can use it there, right? So now you have chosen where you want to what you want to do. Now the thing is business plan, right? So business plan is very, very important. You have to plan it well before you start a business, right? So as I said before you start the business plan, you should be very clear on your problem, right? So the problem statements defines your business model, right? So what is the problem you are trying to solve, right? And then you have to do designing of the solution. Designing in the sense is not a physical graphic design or something like that, but you have to have that mindset of thinking clearly on how the product is going to be, right? We call it as a design thinking process. So we have that topic in the course. It is it's a very interesting design thinking process. Many companies in the world, even top companies, uses those process before even they build the product, right? So you got a problem, you know how to solve the problem. Now you build you design the product, right? And then once you design the product, you have to create a product in a minimum viable way, right? So we call that as a MVP, minimum viable product. For example, yeah. So how you, let's say, moving from here to some other place, I need a device, right? So this was the problem. So people are not able to move, by walking or something like that. Give me a second. Sorry. So, so to solve that problem, you are going to build a car, for example, or a rocket or something like that, right? So before your end product is a car or rocket, right? So, but before that, you can't build the car from scratch. In the beginning, it's going to take years, and then at the end of the day, when you after building the product, if it is not, people start rejecting, no, I don't like that product, then all your efforts are waste, right? So what you do, before you build the actual product, you build a minimum viable product. Okay, so maybe you build shoes with us, wheels, something like that. So which actually makes them move from one place to other place. Okay? That is called minimum viable product, right? So once the minimum viable product is built, you validate with the users, and then you build the actual product. Okay, so once you build the actual product, you will plan for the marketing strategy. No, you will do the analysis over the competitor. What are the things that you have to do better to build the products. So those are the things comes after that, right? So you'll be learning more on those things. I will also walk you through how you can actually start the business, and I'm already helping many startups who has idea and want to start something, or who already started something and they don't know how to go about it, and they don't know how to scale up the business. I'm closely working with many startups on that. So with that, I will end this session. Hope it was very useful. Um, do let me know. You can connect me through different platforms. Do let me know if you have anything, or if you have any idea, if you don't know how to scale up those things. I'm happy to help. Thanks for joining, and thanks for inviting me. Special thanks to the MGR team and was organizing really well. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks, students.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable information and idea that you have shared with us. I would like to extend my special thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Arun Rajaya, sir, additional register admin, who honored this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Students, kindly fill your attendance.